It's back. Yes, one of the biggest UK TV shows of the 1990s is coming back to its original home of Channel 4. TFI Friday was the start of the weekend to anyone who grew up in the decade of the 90s. In this video, we'll look back at some of the history of the show and why this is happening now. Like the video, subscribe and ring the bell. It really helps the channel grow. You can also hype the video, which is a new thing. Chris Evans first became nationally known through a weekend show on BBC Radio 1 and soon after in 1992 on Channel 4's Big Breakfast. He'd leave to take on prime time and create shows through his own production company, Ginger Productions. And his first big TV show, Don't Forget Your Toothbrush, lasted a couple of years. It also sold internationally as well, making Chris Evans a pretty penny. He'd also returned to early mornings to host the coveted Radio 1 breakfast show in 1995. But it was in 1996 when perhaps Evans' most iconic creation came into existence, and the one this video is supposedly about. TFI Friday was a loud, chaotic British entertainment show that aired on Channel 4 from 1996 to 2000, fronted by Chris Evans. Broadcast live on Friday evenings, it mixed celebrity interviews, live music, comedic moments, audience participation, and unpredictable moments, with a deliberately anarchic tone. Regular features such as quirky competitions, many of which wouldn't really stand today.
So this week we do have another ugly bloke, and they have to have a talent.
And live interviews gave it an anything can happen feel, helping it become a defining pop culture show of the late 1990s. Not my words, the words of ChatGPT. That's the only bit of ChatGPT I'll use in this video. Notable moments including Shaun Ryder swearing on tea time telly, meaning the show was banned from going out live. It was also the first show on British TV to give away £1 million out of Evans' personal funds. Kind of a spoiler to the runaway success that had been Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. A stunt he also did at the same time on his Virgin Radio show, a station he'd brought from Richard Branson during his run on TFI Friday. But this success wasn't to last into the millennium. He sold the production company that made the show along with Virgin Radio, and he didn't present the final series, which had guest presenters, who also had a surprise marriage to pop star Billie Piper. To be fair, she's arguably made worse life choices since. He then disappeared for a bit, but set up a new production company, UMTV, which made various shows for broadcasters, including some similar to TFI Friday. Evans returned to BBC Radio 2, a move that would later result in him replacing the legendary Terry Wogan on The Breakfast Show. His big TV return was a chat show called OFI Friday on ITV1. No, OFI Sunday on ITV1. Clearly trying to channel the memories of TFI Friday, the show didn't quite land. It looked far more like a traditional chat show and lacked the charm of TFI. There's not many clips of this online. The only ones I can find are from a Mad McFly fan, a Mad Robbie Williams fan, and a Mad Billie Piper fan, who was interviewed on the first show. This was after their marriage had effectively ended. By the way, I'm not saying those fans are mad, as in they're mad, although they might be. I just mean they're mad about the person they're mad about. And he'd go on to present Friday's episode of TV's The One Show. But in 2015, almost 20 years after the original TFI Friday, Chris Evans hosted a one-off special of TFI Friday.
It's the celebration we never got to have because we never did the last show because you may remember what happened. I went mad.
It was so widely well received, this turned into a series. It really managed to capture the live, unpredictable nature of the original, something sorely lacking on modern TV. Meanwhile, TV's Top Gear was going through a few challenges, namely its biggest star punching a producer. Chris Evans, as a car man, was seen as an ideal replacement by Manny. Spoiler alert, he wasn't. At the same time, Channel 4 decided to call time on the TFI Friday Revival, despite the show not doing too badly in the ratings. Despite taking a proverbial battering, Evans seemed likely to stay at Radio 2 Breakfast. But in a surprise move in 2018, Rupert Murdoch's news group poached Evans to host the breakfast show on a new national digital station which would use the Virgin Radio name. The original had been rebranded as Absolute some years before, so the name was available to license. I'd argue Radio 2 Breakfast never really recovered since losing Evans, and they haven't really had a lot of luck since with presenters. Anyway, it's relevant that he joined this station because it's been suggested that Evans basically has the run of the place, and at the start of 2026, They turned a section of the studio into a recreation of the TFI Friday bar set and would record the interviews that they did on the breakfast show in this area. This resulted in them creating TFI Unplugged or TFI Friday Unplugged. I'm not quite sure on what the official name is.
It's called Reminiscence Therapy.
A full show similar to that was shown on Channel 4, just on a smaller budget and posted to YouTube. Having seen the success Virgin and Evans have had with this low budget recreation, and given the show is being made anyway, Channel 4 have decided to give the show its 11 p.m. slot. It's had some notable guests like Jimmy Carr, Chris Hemsworth, and the son of one-time former TFI Friday presenter Victoria Beckham, Cruz. Apparently his band is actually quite good. He must get his musical talent from his father's side then. Turning to podcasts and cheaper online shows seems to be the way broadcasters are going. Channel 5 are also showing Piers Morgan Uncensored, which is usually confined to YouTube. The advantage of this show will surely be that it doesn't feature Piers Morgan, although no doubt he'll turn up at some point considering his programme is made in the same building. At the time of this video being posted, TFI Friday Unplugged airs on Virgin Radio's YouTube channel and on Friday nights on Channel 4 at 11 p.m. It doesn't have quite the same feeling as the live 90s shows, but let's face it, it'll be better than most things on TV. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell. You can also hype the video, not quite sure what that does.